Hello everyone, it's Greg and Michaela.
Hello.
We just finished up the Tactician versus the Seraph. We were actually planning on recording it. We got like halfway through, and then all of a sudden, data expired and we ran out of data. And
We ran out of storage.
storage,
Not
I'm
data.
sorry.
Unlimited
Storage,
data.
yes. Unlimited data, ran out of storage. So, but we kind of want to just talk about a little bit what happened. What ended up happening at first. Michaela went first, I think, and first couple turns were a little rough, right?
Yeah, I completely whiffed my first turn.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole game was rough for me rolling wise. I never really got anything going. Had a hard time rolling sixes, and the only cards I was drawing were upgrades, really. I never saw a wild or anything like that. The only thing that I got was a 6-hit.
No dice manipulation to help you out at all.
Nothing to
The
help
first,
me
how
with
many?
dice.
The first few cards you got rid of were all upgrades, right?
Yeah, I had placeholder than now, and then upgrade, better D,
And then
which it's
you
not
sell
great
it,
for,
yeah.
for this one.
And you sell it to the skies too.
Yep.
And then you finally play with stats effects
Which I had targeted
and constrictors.
and constrict,
Yeah.
and he just put targeted right back on me, so it didn't really. I mean, help was constricted. I'm extra roll, but.
I think you did though use Holy Smite 2 right away to help you with that bottom one, Holy Command.
Yeah, take your Holy Command.
I think there was one time you went away from it and you got burnt from it, I think.
It was the very first roll.
Yeah. So, but other than that, yeah, her defense, a lot of damage. The very last turn, she rolled flight. But other than that, it was just damage dealing, which is not exactly fantastic for her. She'd probably rather prefer the damage prevention or the flight. Cleansing was a big thing for you, I think, in terms of I was inflicting constricts and targeteds left and right. They were all over the place with either I was doing the strategic approach, which is inflict constrict, deal 7 damage, but then add on targeted with that with a tactical advantages. I was maxing, I think I got the 4 6s twice, I think, to get max tactical, using the extra tactical advantage to either reroll dice or I used so I used 4 tokens to get protect a little prematurely, and she actually ended up transferring that over to herself late in the game. And then I just had what stats effect or get that out of there because I didn't want that half damage on her. So she did really well with that. Got Holy Presence kind of at that late game though, so not.
I needed it earlier.
Yeah, so not as effective as it would be at the beginning. No one rolled ultimates. I think I had a twice as wild card and I had to use it for a large straight. So I had to use it for large straight. I think I whiffed once or twice. So we both whiffed at least once. But I did get to use that tactical advantage to re-roll sometimes. And I think I had Helping Hand as well that went from nothing into a large straight. So the dice were definitely on my side for that stuff.
Absolutely. I think something helpful for a tactician is Carpet Bomb and Strategic Approach being so similar and also needing 2 6s. So when you roll those 6s, you're comfortable keeping it because it can do
multiple things.
Where with Seraph, I did get the upgrade so I could have 3, but other than that, you only need 1, if any, 6 over here.
Oh yeah. Oh, I also used a Soul Wild against you to keep you from getting that.
That's right.
As well. Because that gains Holy Presence for her, 2 flight, 2 cleanse, and inflicting blinding light. I did not want her to have that, especially early on in the game. So I actually Soul Wilded, and she whipped on that too.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a little bit of a game changer right there early on in the game.
Yeah, because that was early that I would have had a Holy Presence. It would have been, he had 5 health left at the end of the game.
Yeah,
So,
the 5 turns. Yeah,
if I had had that on earlier.
Definitely. So and then I never got to my upgrade cards for my defense. It was pretty deep in my stack still.
My next card was so well.
A lot of my upgrades were still left in as well. So overall, that was the Seraph versus Tactician. The Seraph is going to go to the losers bracket by herself right now. We still have to do figure out who she's going to go against.
It'll either be
The Huntress or the Samurai. And then next we have the Gunslinger and Cursed Pirate. That'll be an interesting one. Ideally, we'll record that without any storage issues. However, also want to talk about the last couple games too. We're trying to figure out our recording stuff and different ways to record, and recorded so much that we ran out of storage without deleting stuff. But we also had the Pyromancer versus the Barbarian, and that was actually a really strong initial game for me for the Barbarian. I got the ultimate in there and really set the tone that way. I think at one point it was 36-18. Yeah. And because I remember I was up double you. And then I got her down to 1 health point and I couldn't finish the job. And she actually pulled off the win with the Pyromancer. It was actually pretty impressive overall. You never got your ultimate in that one, did you?
No, in these 3 games we've played of our resurgence at the tournament, I have not rolled an ultimate once.
Wow.
And you've rolled 3?
2. 1 with the Paladin, 1 with the Barb, and then nothing with Tactician. Yeah. So, and then that was the other one. We had the Paladin versus the Monk. I was the Paladin. Michaela was the Monk. The Monk won? No, Paladin won. That's right, Paladin won. We actually realized too that we were playing one of the Monk's effects incorrectly. It was deal damage, then gain chi, but we were using that chi to help put more damage on. But when you have that keyword then in there, that determines that it happens after everything else has happened before then. So that was another good one too. Paladin kept on doing Paladin things of, I think one time Michaela was going to inflict 14 damage on me, and after I did all my defensive rolls and status effects and cards, I took 1. Yeah. So that was actually Michaela's first time ever playing the Monk, but did a really good job overall. The issue was Monk's one of his abilities is cleansing, and there's nothing to cleanse because Paladin doesn't inflict any negative status effects on others. It's just positive for him.
Right.
So, but I thought you did really well overall on that one as well. What's nice is that these characters, you can really sit down, open it all up, and how you play is the same way every single time, but the way you might want to get different combinations may change from character to character. But it's the same playing sequence every single time, which is awesome. So Seraph is one of your favorite characters though, right?
Yeah, I do enjoy Seraph. She's one of the ones that I like, that she's a little bit more difficult to use. She's definitely, I think, works better on a character that doesn't have so many negative effects, especially ones that affect your rolls, like
Constrict and Entangled.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she is a little bit harder to roll. She has 1, 2, and 3 are blades, 4 wings, 5 cross, 6 is the angelic pendant. So that's a little bit harder, but at the same time, she does have something like the Holy Smite. If she is able to get one of everything, that does help. But at the same time, with any character, if you only have 2 rolls, that's a detriment. Right. And then you have to spend CP just to be able to attack. So that can be hard to deal with consistently. But other than that, so in the Paladin, what's that looking like for season 1? So everyone knows, yeah.
So for season 1, we have the Pyromancer versus the Paladin in the winners bracket. And then in the losers bracket, we have Shadow Thief versus Barbarian coming up, and Moon Elf versus Monk coming up.
Those would be some good matches.
Yep, trying to see who's going to go towards the winners bracket.
Yeah, I think Paladin by Pyromancer will be an interesting one. Pyromancer, known as a glass cannon, dealing damage on attacking and defending. Meanwhile, Paladin's really role is to mitigate that damage and reflect that damage right back at her.
Right.
So I think that'll be an interesting one. Shadow Thief, Barbarian. Barbarian's going to be swinging in shadows quite a bit, I think.
Hopefully.
And then Monk and Moon Elf, a lot of stats effects, cheese, and evasives.
It's going to be a long game, I think.
I think that's going to be a long one, too. Actually, yeah, so the Monk Paladin one lasted almost 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Barbarian Pyromancer lasted about 23 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So look forward to those. Sorry we haven't been able to get any play recordings of these, but at the same time, it has also been nice. We've been trying to do play recordings, but it's also been nice to try to get back in the groove of this a little bit and like, oh yeah, this is how this works and whatnot. Such as like the collateral damage doesn't get any enhancements such as targeted. We had to look that one up. So, all right, without further ado, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.